Going on, everybody? I'd like to welcome everybody to the All on the Business show, AOB TV on YouTube. Please, before we continue, go ahead and like, subscribe, share, and also hit that notification bell so you can be notified every time I put new content up. Today, we're going to be reading out of the Get Out of Jail Free Card book. We're going to read the introduction, and we also going to discuss some legal maxims. And in particular, we're going to discuss a biblical legal maxim. Pardon me for my voice today. I do got a little itchy. I got a little scratch in my throat. So I'm going to have to clear my throat a few times, but I do have me a nice cup of water. So y'all stay tuned. Without further ado, y'all know what time it is. We finna go ahead and drop this track real quick, man, because I got to get in the mood. You know what I'm saying? I was listening to it before y'all came in. This is the joint right here. All right. Getting it together. Yeah, so today we're going to be reading this Get Out of Jail Free Card introduction. Y'all can really get more into what the Get Out of Jail Free Card is all about. Last time we was here, we read the foreword, we read the legal disclaimer, and then we also read What is Money. So if y'all didn't get a chance to see What is Money, make sure you go to my last video that I put up called What is Money, and y'all can get a peek at that, learn a little something. All right, play them down. Yeah, that's that joint though. You know, I gotta bring something hot to the table. All right. Okay, so today is definitely an important day. It's a day that you woke up and to always do your best. Introduction, Get Out of Jail Free Card. Monopoly is an economic themed board game. Well, let me turn it down a little bit more. I like the music in the background, but not too much. Let's turn it down. Let's fade it down. All right. Check it. Monopoly is an economic themed board game of which every player rolls the dice in a conquest to monopolize the real estate and money on the board. Robert Kiyosaki, the real estate entrepreneur and author of the critically acclaimed book Rich Dad, Poor Dad, teaches fundamentals of real estate using Monopoly as a catalyst. One may think that Monopoly only teaches us about real estate, but may fail to realize the significance of the Get Out of Jail Free Card. A Get Out of Jail Free Card is a concept woven into the American fabric and a hidden jewel on the Monopoly board, even more significant than real estate itself. In Monopoly, there are 4 ways to get out of jail. First, roll doubles. Second, wait 3 turns. Third, you can use the Get Out of Jail Free Card, chance, or community chest. Right? It's 4 ways. Rolling double is like winning your case, arguing the trier of facts. Waiting 3 turns, of course, means that you failed to roll doubles. And consequently, it's like you lost your case arguing the trier of facts and were found guilty and served your time, right? Because when you roll the dice on Monopoly, you get your turn, boom, you don't roll doubles, you got to wait. So you wait 3 times, and then on the 4th roll, whatever you hit, you could get out of jail. That means you time served. The Monopoly Get Out of Jail Free Card is a special card. It allows a player who is currently in jail to immediately get out without having to roll doubles or pay a fine. The card can be obtained through various means, such as being drawn from the chance or community chest cards or by purchasing it from another player. It's a valuable asset in the game of Monopoly, as it helps players avoid the penalties associated with being in jail. allowing them to continue their movement around the board and potentially gain an advantage over opponents. Community chess is like civil court, and chance is like criminal court. This setup reflects the fact that one may go to jail or get out of jail free in a civil as well as a criminal case without arguing a trier of fact. Adding humor to the obvious, the Monopoly man is wearing a jailhouse jumpsuit on the chance card and a business suit on the community chess card, right? So let's, taking a chance. What's that mean? When people say, I'm taking a chance, you taking penitentiary chances. So when you go to Monopoly and you look at the get out of jail free card, on that card, it's a picture of the Monopoly man wearing a jail suit because he took that chance. Now, when you look at the community chess get out of jail free card, the Monopoly man is wearing a business suit and he has wings and he's flying out of a bird cage because civil court is about money. Criminal court is about putting your ass in jail. I hope y'all like that brief introduction, okay? Because we could dissect what we said here. So let's think about it. Monopoly. We all been playing Monopoly our whole lives. I mean, a lot of us, I should say, not all of us, but Monopoly is a fundamental game when it comes to counting money and stuff like that. But from my experience, when I was young, we didn't really look at the real estate part of Monopoly. We looked at just, the money, the colorful money. It wasn't until I was older when I started doing research and studying that I saw Robert Kiyosaki. And, his whole thing was real life, real estate is just like Monopoly in that. When he was young, his best friend's dad taught him about real estate using Monopoly. But Robert Kiyosaki has never, at least as far as I've seen on video or read in a book, he's never mentioned the get out of jail free card. Now, let me tell you, when you go look at Monopoly, right, everybody starts at one spot. When you roll them dice, the first place you go to is, I think it's called Baltic, right? Baltic, these brown cards, right? Because they color coordinated, right? Broadway and Park is blue. That's the most expensive. The least expensive is Baltic, which is brown. So you got to go through them brown areas before you could get to the blue. Same thing out here. You got the ghetto, you got the middle class, and then you got the upper class down there on downtown on Broadway, where it's most expensive to live. Now, when you look at the Monopoly board, you could go to jail if you land on the go to jail thing. So there's a spot on the board that says go to jail. And when you land there, you got to go to jail. And it's just, I guess, a coincidence that you go to jail as soon as you leave the lower class part of the Monopoly board. Like when you get out of the lower class section of the Monopoly board, there's a go to jail sign on the corner. Don't be hanging on that corner. Your ass gonna go to jail. Now, when your ass go to jail, you better hope you got to get out of jail free card. Otherwise, you're gonna have to roll doubles, right? Or you're gonna have to roll 3 times and do your time. You're going to have to beat your case or you're going to lose your case, right? In real life, right? I've never heard Robert Kiyosaki talk about these things. So now let me do the honors of introducing this information to your mind to give you a broader concept of what I'm talking about when I say get out of jail free card. Okay. You think that the creators of Monopoly just so happened to put a get out of jail free card on the board? Everything else on the board is relative to life except for that, right? Now, let's think about this. The pieces on Monopoly, are any of those pieces human beings? No. In fact, each piece on the Monopoly board that you could choose as an individual is a piece of property already. It's not a house. It's an individual piece of property. Why? Because Monopoly is showing you how to hold stuff in trust. See, all this stuff is, look, you could get the top hat. You could get the Rolls Royce. You could get the nice dog. You could get the whatever whatever they got, man. The concrete paper. It's all kind of stuff they got on Monopoly. The boat. These are assets that you will put into a trust, some type of indentured um, agreement, right? Under a contract, you would protect your property in trust. I mean, there's no human beings right there, right? Okay. Why is it that they don't have people hopping around and getting into these houses on Monopoly? Because they showing you it's all about having assets and property. Now listen, the get out of jail free card. See, the assets and the property create money too, but the get out of jail free card, right? You can get to rolling your dice, boom, you get a chance card. You got your get out of jail free card, right? You go to jail, boom, you can use it just like that. You get out. No questions asked on Monopoly, right? In real life, it's a little bit different. It ain't that easy, but there is a get out of jail free card, just like you could buy a house on Monopoly and you could buy a house in real life. You get out of jail free on Monopoly, you get out of jail free in real life. It's a reality and it's written in law. See, it's all in the book. It's all in the book. And it's all on a business, but it's all in the book. Get out of jail free card. Okay, including the bonus article, What is Money? Written and compiled by the Honorable Michael E. Powell. Okay, you know, I had to put my honorable on there just to show y'all, you know, that this is about credibility. You know, anybody questioning the authenticity or the credibility of anything I've written or compiled, I stand to be corrected. But in order to correct me, you'd have to correct the law, because this book is full of the what, not how. I ain't telling you how to do nothing. I'm telling you exactly what it is. You need to know what it is before you can actually know what to do with it. You know what I'm saying? I could give it to you, but what you gonna do with it? I could give it to you, but what? You know? So I'm gonna give it to you inch by inch and make it a cinch. So let's move on. Let's talk about this legal maxim. You know, I got two legal maxims I want. Let me get off into this one in my big old thick old Black Law dictionary right here. I read one that was real interesting. Good laws are born from evil morals. That's a legal maxim. Yeah, I don't want to say it in Latin. I'll learn that later. Good laws are born from evil morals. So how do you judge if a law is good or not? How, you know how people say, you say I'm righteous, or you say I don't get down like that. I'm righteous. They say, oh, well, you self-righteous or something like that, or some type of inclination like that. Well, how do you judge your righteousness? Well, basically, you base it off of the evil morals of others. You know, so like somebody told me one day, there's no such thing as cold. It's just not as hot. You know, the sun ain't never been cold. It's just not as hot. The further you get away, the less hot it gets, but we call it colder. The description ain't the described. So good laws are born from evil morals, and righteousness is born from wicked ways, right? Wicked ways. The righteousness came first, then the wickedness came after, because the wickedness was born from the righteous ways. Now I'm trying to tell you, listen, it's all one and all the same. You can't separate the knowledge from the wisdom. You can't. So good laws are born from evil morals. They don't, listen, born from, which means they're brought to life. Born means to bring into existence. So good laws are brought into existence from the evil morals of others. So we have to make laws due to the fact that y'all got some evil morals. But if you didn't have evil morals, we wouldn't even have a need for a law. So now let's get into this. All things are lawful. All things are lawful. Historical biblical verse that a lot of my people like to use, and it's cool. All things are lawful. Hey, I agree. But all things are expedient. Hey, don't forget the next part of that sentence. All things are lawful, but All things are expedient. Now let's look up the definition, or are not expedient. Pardon self. All things are lawful, but all things are not expedient. Now let's look up expedient, because I can agree with this. All things are lawful. Listen, we in America, right? All right. Just keep that in mind. We in America. You doing some things that's unlawful and you ain't even aware of it. You doing what you know not what. Easily led in the wrong direction and hard to be led in the right. Let's see what we going here. Bringing it to y'all. Shout out to Now Born for the instrumental. Bringing it to y'all though, live and direct. Just pulling up this definition. Let's see. And it's important that we know the definition of expedient. Next time I'll be more prepared. I'll write it down ahead of time, trial and error. However, I do have this big old Black Law Dictionary at hand, so we don't have to do no Google searching. We just got to do good old-fashioned searching. Expedient. Here we go. Okay. Well, this is not really giving me the justice on the word. This is expediente. Expediente. This is a Spanish word for Spanish law. The papers or documents constituting a grant or title to land from the government, historical record of proceedings. Expediente. That's not what that means. Let's go here. All right. Let's go ahead. Go where we need to go. Expedient. Suitable or efficient for accomplishing a purpose. Now, what is your purpose? See, this is why we part of the algebraic society. I like to solve for Z. I like to use the X to solve for Y to get my Z. I like to use my Y to solve for X and get my Z. Now, what's a X and what's a Y? Well, a X is the unknown. The Y is your reason. So what's the reason you would have to do what? What's the reason things would have to be, all things would be lawful? What's the reason that all things is lawful? Because, when we could say all things are lawful. And then you say, well, why? So we could get to the Z. Well, why are all things lawful? Because it's suitable for accomplishing. It's suitable for accomplishing your purpose of being alive. But everything is not suitable for accomplishing your purpose, like your greed, like your overdoing things. Let me give you an example. All things are lawful. Our people eat pork. The Bible says, and we ain't trying to get into no religion. We're going to switch up the pace in a second. But I'm just saying, the Bible say you ain't supposed to eat pork. I mean, pretty much all religions say it, right? You're not supposed to eat pork. But then the Bible say all things are lawful. So now our people want to tell you that when they eat some foul food, that it's lawful, that all things have been made lawful for them and they have been forgiven for their sins. But all things are not expedient, which means they're not suitable to accomplish a purpose. And what's the purpose? The purpose is, let's be clear about the purpose. The purpose is to see heaven on earth. The purpose is to reach the promised land. The purpose is to do unto others as you want done unto you. These are the purposes. Some of them. There's many purposes, but the purpose is to stay alive so you can accomplish that. How can you accomplish any goal if your main purpose is not to stay alive? So all things are lawful, but all things are not expedient. All things are not suitable or efficient for accomplishing the purpose of staying alive, which means if you a slave and you got to eat pork to stay alive, do what you got to do, but don't overdo it. Don't become in love with that pork. And I could prove what I'm saying right now. I could prove what I'm saying. Let's continue into that little verse right there. Let no man seek his own, but every man another's wealth. What's another man's wealth? What's another man's wealth? We ain't talking about his money. We want his mind. We want his heart. Whatsoever is solid in the shambles, that eat, asking no questions. Listen, when you seek in the another man's mind so that you could free him from his mental captivity, sometimes you got to lock yourself up in his dungeon. Sometimes if you want to pull somebody out of hell, you might just have to visit. That don't mean you got to go through hell to get to heaven. That means some people are already living a life full of hell. And all they need for you to do is pull them out, but they not going to pull you. They're not going to allow you to pull them out while you on your high horse, while you up in there in heaven, acting like you so holy and pure and better than everybody else. You need to be able to get down there in that fire pit with them and be able to take that flame. Because guess what happens when you put bronze in flame, or when you put any type of metal in flame, you purify it. So put me in the flame and I'm going to come out even more pure than I was before. And I'm coming out with me brethren. I'm coming out with me wealth. Guess what? Once you refine that gold in that furnace, it becomes worth more. Every man's wealth. I'm out here for your wealth. Your wealth is your mind and your heart. And I'm trying to pull you up out that mental captivity, out of them shambles. So yeah, I'll break bread with you. For the earth is the Lord's and the fullness thereof. If any of them believe not, bid you to feast, and ye be disposed to go. Whatsoever is set before you, eat, asking no question for conscience sake. Wow. If any of them believe not, now listen to this. You trying to teach those who believe not. So if any of them that believe not, the ones you trying to teach, they bid you to a feast, you better go. You better go. And when they put the food out, you better eat now. Now. Is it? My stomach growling. I need to eat. But eating, when we talk about eating, we ain't just talking about food in your mouth. We not just talking about diet. We talking about food for thought as well. Let me tell you right now. You want to teach a hardcore thug how to not be a hardcore thug, then you got to have that respect, and you got to get respected from these hardcore thugs. That don't mean you got to eat pork, but that means you can't be no buster. Hey, some of the most righteous, civilized brothers to ever walk this planet Earth came from gangs and gang life, and left gangs and pulled other people out of gangs. And now these brothers are living productive lives and have children and careers, and they're not dead or in jail like other people have predicted them to be. Because that servant which knew his Lord's will and prepared himself so shall not be beaten with many stripes, shall be rewarded. But that servant which knew his Lord's will, prepared not himself, neither according to his own will, shall be beaten with many stripes. See, that's a line they used to use against us in slavery, but you got to understand it's a mental thing. Food for thought. Any of them that believe not bid you to a feast. Yo, peace. How many times have any of my brothers that might see this video been out with me and we had to go feast with the uncivilized? We didn't have to eat food with you, but we had to break that mental bread with you. We had to teach you. We had to eat with you in order to teach you. I can't teach you if I don't eat with you. If you offer me food and I say no, you're not even going to want to learn nothing from me. Food for thought or food for mouth. But if any man say unto you, this is offered in sacrifice unto idols, eat not for his sake that shewed it, and for conscience sake, for the earth is the Lord's and the fullness thereof. Listen, But if any man say unto you, this is offered in sacrifice unto his idol, then don't eat it. You hear what it's telling you? Is if you're going into a man's feast to teach them, even though they believe not, you're aware they believe not. That's why you're going. You want to go around those who don't believe. You don't want to spend your time around people that believe all day, because that's how you show and prove you ain't teaching nobody. You got to get around people that don't believe. But as soon as they make a sacrifice in the name of their idol, in the name of their gang, in the name of them drugs, in the name of that pimping and hoeing, in the name of anything foul or evil, that's when them good laws kick in. Because good laws is made based on your evil inclinations, like we already discussed in the legal maxim prior to this one. Any man saying to you, this is offered in sacrifice to his idols, eat not thereof, eat not for his sake, or for your own conscience. I'm not finna go kill nobody in the name of your gang. I'm not finna sell drugs in the name of this money for this. I'm not about to go pimp this woman for the name of money. I'm not about to sell my soul to teach you. I will never. I came here out of the kindness of my own heart, knowing that the Lord is the owner of the planet Earth, and that you offered me to a feast, and that I came to feast with you so that I may have the opportunity to teach you. But as soon as you started trying to teach me about your mystery God, I had to leave. Cautious, I say, not thine one, but of the other. Not thine one, but of the other. For why is my liberty judged of another man's conscience? Why is my liberty judged of another man's conscience? Let's think about what we're saying here. Have a conscience, but not a thine one. Thine hand, thine. Let's look up thine. All right, let's look up thine. Used to indicate the one belonging to thee. Possessive pronoun, thine. Right? Something that's yours, right? It says, conscious, I say, not thine own, but of the other. Why is my liberty judged of another man's conscience? My freedom shall not be determined by another man's comfortability in the actions he's doing. I'm not here to make you feel comfortable. Just for you to feel free around me. Just for me to feel free around you. Supposed to just allow you to just make sacrifices into your idols, into your mysteries, and to just draw me up into your magnetic. No. Some people may interpret that as not thine own, but of the other. So it's talking about the conscience of the other individual. So when you read this whole little line right here, it ain't even talking about your conscience, it's talking about the conscience of the other. Because you're not trying to disrupt it. Listen, you go to somebody, when you trying to teach somebody, right? And they make an offer to you, unless the offer is contradictory to your way of life, then you should accept the offer. That don't mean you have to do anything with the offer. You understand? Like, I could get invited somewhere and I could go. And I could choose if I go or not. But if I go, I'm making a decision to go and that I'm going to be all in. I'm not going to half step when I go. So if I'm saying I'm going to teach me some hardcore, some yo, is he one of them guys, and you go over there and something happens, and now you in the wrong place, the wrong time, you have to roll with those punches. And if you end up trying to fight those punches, it's going to be worse for you. Even though the road that's ahead of you looks like a terrible road, it's really the road of the righteous. It's the road of the righteous because you was offered to a feast by the uncivilized and you went because you trying to civilize the uncivilized. And you just so happen to get caught up in a situation with these uncivilized brothers. And now you paying the price for eating that food. But guess what? It's worth it if you could see the light. Now, you pick and choose what you eat. If you don't want to, you might want to just free the minds of some college kids. You might want to go, reach out to some kids and do like the Black Panthers did. In that case, you have to be able to break bread with them on the intellectual level. Can't be just muscle in a room full of brain. And you can't just be brain in a room full of muscle. And this is the point. You got to learn how to break bread. Okay. And I think that's it for today, man. That was quick, man. I ain't doing nothing much. I'm chilling. Wanted to read that intro, get into this all things are lawful. Hopefully y'all understood that, where I'm coming from. Where I'm coming from in regards to all things being lawful and good laws being born through evil morals. You know what I'm saying? And all things are lawful because we in the world full of evil morals. Everybody got evil morals. All these companies got this terrible food and packaged up water, and there's a lot of unnatural things going on. So how can you blame anybody for doing something that they know not what? Now, once you're aware of what you're doing, shall you be judged? I mean, if a man know it ain't right to kill a man, he keep killing man, is can he forgive himself? If a person got high blood pressure and they know that eating bad food is about to kill them and they keep eating it, are they an exception to that rule? I mean, are they forgiven? Maybe so, because at the end of the day, right? Just think about it, right? Somebody who got an addiction to eating foul food and they got health problems and they keep eating it. But really, they might have a health thing in their mind where they're like, oh, I can't stop eating this shit. Oh, you know what I'm saying? And they just can't stop this addiction. And addiction is one of the results of this life we living in. This society we in, this social media, all this stuff is making addicts out of a lot of people with a lot of different addictions. So are we to blame the people with addictions? Are we to blame the homeless? Are we to blame the criminals? Are we to blame the murderers, the rapists? Are we to blame them? Or are we to blame ourselves? Because all things are lawful. That ain't just talking about food. That's talking about everything. All your evil morals and wicked ways. It's all lawful. You know why? Because you're doing what you know not what. You easily led in the wrong direction. Hard to be led in the right direction. That go for me, anybody. I'm not even finna jump out that boat. You know why? Because I'm one with the people. Like I said, man, I'm down to feast with you. I'm only here for a reason. I'm here to teach you. You know, I'm here to get my man and get up out of here. You know, hopefully I come out of this unscathed. But I'm with the people. I'm gonna jump in the mosh pit. I'm not finna hang out with these motherfuckers in these white robes, acting like they all clean. Fuck all that. Let me get dirty. I want to get dirty with the people, but no, I'm teaching righteousness in the crowd. But I want to get dirty. I want to get in the mud. I want to get in the mud. Everybody trying to get out the mud. I'm trying to get in the mud. I'm trying to make more mud. Gotta listen, mud. Muddy waters is the only way. You know, we gotta wait in the water. And at the bottom of the water is mud. You know. So quit your evil inclinations. Eat better. Live better. Drink water. Teach your sons and your daughters. Eat fruits and vegetables. Stay off the pork. Stay off the lean. Stay off the cocaine. Stay off the crack. Stay off the heroin. Stay off the Xanny. Stay off the perks. Stay off all that stuff, man. Stay off of it. Stop. Quit. I ain't got nothing to say about you smokers, you weed smokers, and you cigarette smokers. I have nothing to say. So many revolutionaries are smoking. It's like, it is what it is. That's another discussion. But yo, you shooting shit up your veins, you drinking chemicals. Stop the shit, man. You know what I'm saying? Even the cigarettes, but I'm just saying, man. Che Guevara smoked cigars. You know, Fidel Castro, they smoked cigars. You know, when you look at, I watched the movie called Oppenheimer, motherfucking scientist who made the nuclear shit. He was smoking cigarettes. I mean, you know, when your mind is congested with thoughts and you on your move and you on your path, and yeah, you might have some stress and you might smoke to relieve some of that stress. You might drink, you might do any of that shit, but I'm just saying the detrimental effects of a lot of these other things are way worse. I mean, who am I to say a slow kill is worse than a fast kill is worse than a slow kill? But because it's all killing. But at the end of the day, you know, inch by inch is a cinch, y'all. You know, when people say all things are lawful, man, leave them be, man, because they're not lying. Just understand that all things are not expedient. You know what I'm saying? All things is not expedient, which means, you know, you overdoing it. You overdoing it. I wouldn't allow myself to die from starving. I would eat a piece of poisonous animal if I had to stay alive, because I value my life more than I value any type of what we may call a so-called principle, because your principles become religion when you put them over your own life, your own health. If your principles keep you from sustaining life, if your principles lead you to death, that's when they become religion. Because religions, you know, everybody in religion, as far as I know, when you die, you see God in religion. Muslims, Christians, Catholics, Buddhists, I don't give a fuck what you believe in. When you die, that's when you see your maker. You know what I'm saying? And that's not something that I prescribe for everybody. I prescribe life. So do things that take you towards life. Do things that sustain your life. Make sure your principles sustain your life. And if you come to the point where you about to starve, then eat. If you come to a place where you about to die from thirst, then drink. But don't drink too much of that poison. Don't eat too much of that poison, because it'll end up doing more harm than it will doing good. Good laws, you know what I'm saying? Born from evil morals. Yeah, peace. I'm finna roll.